Hello and welcome to the biggest, the best, the most powerful learning knowledge-based system ever seen and heard. This is Fusion.
Wow. Okay. Well, hopefully you never have to see that again. Welcome to Learning MoGraph for Fusion. And we've got a Fusion tutorial on how to do some 3D text. Now, the inspiration for this is, of course, the one and the only Andrew Kramer. I mean, the guy is legend, makes amazing tutorials, makes amazing plugins. So I kind of wanted to approach this from the aspect of how would we do element style graphics in Fusion? So that's what I'm learning, and that's what hopefully I can pass on some knowledge to you guys. So here's what we have. We got some cool 3D text, I got some little light, some little reflections, and some grunge on the screen. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's get right into it. I'm gonna shift spacebar if you're on the Mac. We're gonna do 3D text. And let's type in the last. I think I was using Avenir next. Let's see what we have here. We're gonna go ahead and switch to one view. And all right, let's go to our extrusion. And let's bring our depth up about 1.8. One thing you can do is turn on shading. That way you can see what you're doing a little bit better. And let's bring our subdivisions extrusion up to about 3. Let's get our bevel depth at 0.00425. Bevel width at 0.00263. And our smoothing angle at about 25. So here we go, got a nice little start here. Let's jump over to our shading and put our specular exponent at 3 and our intensity at 2. You notice here that the slider only went up to 1. Your number's not there, the slider's not there, just type it in and it will be there. Okay, great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create an instance, a copy of this exact node. If we change this node, it will affect our new instance. So we're going to copy this node, and then we're going to Shift Command V, makes an instance and gave us a merge. Now this instance is connected by this green line to this 3D node. So if I make a change to the text, it will affect this instance and vice versa. So they share a bi connection. So it's not just a one-way copy, it's a two-way connection. So just be aware of that. So let's undo that. So what we're gonna do is disconnect certain connection points. So we're gonna come to our extrusion depth here, and we're gonna de-instance by right-clicking and selecting de-instance. We're gonna go to our bevel depth and de-instance that, and our bevel width and de-instance that as well. What we can do is this allows us to adjust the depth, the extrusion and the bevel and the width independently. So we can do this, change it, and it's not going to affect our original text. So for our extrusion depth, let's go to 0.0095. And for our bevel depth, we're going to come up to 0.00105. Our bevel width is going to be 0.0157. Now let's take a look at our merge 3D, and you can start to see what we're creating here. Okay, so now let's go over to our shading and give it some color. Now remember, every parameter has an instance, and we know this by this green line over every entry point. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and de-instance our color, our color value, and we're going to de-instance the text color group. So that will allow us to come in here and adjust our alpha channel. And we're going to push the colors to like a blue-green. All right. So now let's go to our XY coordinates tab, and we're going to de-instance the Z offset, and then we're going to push this forward just a little bit. If I hold down my command key, I can really just dial in exactly where that needs to be, and let's see how we're doing that. Looks good for now. We'll come back and adjust as needed. All right, so now let's create a third instance. So we're going to copy our text layer. We're going to deselect all of our nodes, and then again, Shift Command V. Just bring this down here. There we go. Put this on the merge. And let's make some modifications to this. Let's go, first of all, we need to de-instance. So let's go to extrusion depth, and let's de-instance that. And let's make our extrusion depth 0.1095. And then let's go to our bevel depth, and let's de-instance that. And let's make our bevel depth 0.0116. Let's go ahead and de-instance our bevel width. And we're going to make that 0.0179. And let's go ahead and turn off our back bevel. Let's go ahead and go to our shading tab. Let's de-instance the text color group. And let's bring this down. Now let's go to our coordinates tab, and we're going to de-instance our Z offset, and we're going to make that 0.0039. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and look at our merge and see what we have so far. All right, great. Now let's go ahead and give this some texture. So let's make some room with our merge, and we're going to select our initial 3D text node, and let's add the replace material 3D. They have in the bins now, they finally have released all of these extra little templates. So if you take a look at this, you can see how they kind of give you some backgrounds, some lens flares, some different looks, some little motion graphic elements, some particles, and we have some shaders here. But we're going to select the honeycomb. So the way we do this is that you drag this right into your flow. Let's get rid of this bin. Now we're going to connect this honeycomb material to our material input on the replace materials. And it's given us this cool looking effect here. So let's select our third instance, replace material, and we're going to add a background and add it to this guy. So here is what we have so far. Let's take this merge 3D and let's right click on it and rename it, and we'll call this text merge. Let's add a new merge 3D, and let's go ahead and rename that to lights merge. Now let's add a couple lights. Let's go ahead and add a point light. Bring that guy right back over here. Let's rename that. We're going to call this front blue. And we're going to come over here and change some color parameters. The intensity up to 3. And let's go ahead and go to our coordinates tab, our X offset. Right, let's go ahead and add another point light. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and rename this guy. Front orange. All right, let's give him some color, or her. It could be a her, you never know. Red is going to be 1. Green is going to be 4, 5, 9. Blue is going to be 0.398. And we're going to go ahead and give it a quadratic decay, and let's change the decay rate to 0.644. I can already not see the difference. One thing that we need to do here, let's go ahead and turn off this connection, and we're going to take the merge, this merge, and put it into our text merge. Yeah, this is not looking that great actually. Let's go to our honeycomb material and let's make some adjustments. So what I've done is I've just moved this group node over. I'm going to zoom right in on this. There's this little button right here that allows you to expand and see all the cool little features that they have inside here. Now you can feel free to explore and just go crazy. It will make you go crazy, but for right now we're not going to go crazy. We're just going to adjust the ward. Going to come into our color here, 8.8, and let's go to our specular color And green is going to go to 0.896. Blue is going to go 0.849. The spread U coordinates, let's do 0.1389. And for the V side, let's 1.039. All right, great. Let's go ahead and I'll select our two-sided lighting. And you can see already the change that's happening. It's kind of cool. Let's close this up. All right, so now this is starting to look a little bit better. Let's make some adjustments to the coordinates here. 0.743, negative 0.036, 0.652. There we go. That looks much better. Now we're starting to get our bicolor happening. All right, let's keep going. Let's add another point light. Move this guy over here. And let's rename him to back red. All right, and let's make some changes. Red is going to be 0.7. Green is going to be 0.119. Blue is going to be 0. We're going to go ahead and give the decay quadratic, and we're going to have 0.510. Let's go to our coordinates position. X is going to be 1.162. Our Y value is going to be 0.517, and our Z is going to be negative 0.884. And let's see what that does. It's starting to give us a little pop in the back. But wait, we're not done. Let's reselect our merge. Let's add another point light. Just because we can't get enough point lights, let's go ahead and rename this guy to back blue. Promise, this is the last light. I think so. I hope so. All right, real quick, color. Red is going to be 0. Green is going to be 0.546. Blue is going to be 1. Our intensity is going to be 0.3391. And let's go to our coordinates. Coordinates is going to be x 0.007, y negative 0.035, and z is going to be negative 1.052. All right, now we've just been punching in numbers after numbers after numbers, and you know, really you guys need to explore and try your own different values. This is just kind of something that I landed on that was kind of cool, but make this to taste and make it your own coolness. Let's go ahead and add a 3D transform. So transform 3D. There we go. And let's pound through this real quick. Z offset is going to be 0.8368. And let's go to the Y rotation, negative 40.6694. Okay, let's add another 3D merge. And let's call this one cam merge. Well, let's add a camera. All right, let's make some changes here real quick. Let's adjust the plane of focus. Put it at 6.28735. Let's go to our coordinates tab, and let's adjust the Z offset to 7.1276. Let's go ahead and look at our merge here and see what we have. I'm going to hold the command key down and use the middle mouse scroll wheel to scroll in and out, and then hold the option key down and click and hold the middle mouse scroll wheel to move around. Alright, so now we are about there. Let's go ahead and add a render node. Color to the end of it. Alright, let's set this render node up. So we're going to go to software render, OpenGL renderer. We're going to come to our output channels, and we're going to select the super sampling, enable lighting, enable shadows. We're going to go ahead and open up the accumulation effects, enable it, and let's set the quality of our depth of field to about 8, and the amount of depth of field 0.09543. All right, let's go ahead and view what we have here. Oh, let's turn off our transparency. There we go. We got some nice little depth of field. I'm going to turn that on and off. There's with it, without it. And there we go. We have some depth of field on. And then let's go to our image tab, and let's put this in 16-bit float. All right, that is looking pretty cool. Now let's go back and select our cam merge again, and let's add another renderer. I'm going to add wire, because this is going to be our wire frame. Turn on our OpenGL renderer. go to our accumulation effects, enable depth of field, and our quality is going to be 4, and our depth of field is going to be 0.06639. Let's go ahead and view what we have so far with this guy. All right, let's enable wireframes. Okay, so from our wireframe renderer, we're going to go ahead and add a brightness contrast node. Of course, if I can spell, that would be much better. There we go. And let's go ahead and make some adjustments to our gain. Let's make that 1.45. Let's go ahead and view this as well, so we can see what we're doing. Our gamma is going to be 1.1685. Our saturation is 0. Now let's go ahead and add a glow to this. Can't get enough of glows. Let's view that. Let's change a couple parameters real quick. Our glow size is going to be 7.279. And the glow is going to be 0.6389. All right, let's bring our two renderers together. The output of our glow, put it over on top of our render. Now we have a merge. Let's view that. Our wireframe is pretty loud. Let's go ahead and bring that down. Apply mode to screen, and we're going to put our blend to about 4.5. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good enough right there. Now I'm going to bring in a dirt layer, grunge layer. You can use any type of grunge layer you want. So let's go ahead and add some dirt. Let's add a loader. And let's select our merge. Let's just pump up the size a little bit. We'll bring down the alpha gain some. And our blend. There we go, that should work. That's all. All right, so we've got our dirt layer. Now let's go ahead and add a background layer. Now for our background layer, what we're going to do is we're going to make it a gradient. We're going to make it a cross gradient, and we're going to move our start somewhere around here. If I hold down the command key and use my scroll wheel, I can zoom out of the viewer, and then I can move this gradient about here. And I'll click the fit button. Let's look at our merge. We're going to go ahead and switch the inputs. So you can right click on this and then go to swap inputs, or you can use command T. So we've got our background with our gradient. We've merged it over with our 3D text. So let's add a CC node. Let's view that. And in our master tab, we're going to take the tint and go to 0.4280. Our strength is going to be 0.2691. And let's go ahead and adjust the contrast to. And our gain is going to go about 1.5. And let's bring down the gamma to 0.689. And the brightness to 0.1034. For our shadows, we're going to put our tint go to our midtones, 0.0625, and the strength is going to be 0.3502. Gain about 1.7, and a gamma about 0.5. There. Now we're also going to take the output of our merge that merged our wireframe with our 3D text, and we're going to use it a mask for our color correction. Let's go into our color correction node, into our I'm calling it the nuclear tab. Let's go ahead and invert the mask. So now what we've done is we are affecting just this outside part. We're using this renderer right here that's got our 3D text, but we're using it as a mask on our color correction. So that way we're only affecting everything else but our text. So let's go ahead and disconnect that. And as you can see, it's affected the text and just kind of washed it out, and it's not the desired effect we want. But if we take this output and put it right over the effects mask on this color correction node and invert the mask, now what we've done is we've made it to where we can color correct everything else around it and leave that renderer alone. It's a pretty powerful way of working in Fusion. If you're coming from the After Effects world, it's a little bit, it's quite different working with nodes, but that's one of the really cool things about working with nodes, is that you can just completely keep piping things and reusing them over and over without having to pre-comp or pre-build or any of that stuff. All right, so we are looking pretty good. We've got our 3D renderer, we got our grunge on there. Now, if you notice, if you remember in the example, we had some blue and some orange light kind of coming from behind and the blue light in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste in those effects, and we'll kind of walk through them real quick there. All right, so let's start off with our background. This effect starts off with just this kind of peaches color background, and I added an ellipse mask. You can see this mask right here, and then I added some fast noise straight to that mask, which kind of has this nice texture effect to the mask. So we still have the overall general shape of our mask, but it's kind of broken up. Now if we pipe that into our background, little dust effect, we'll add some rays to that. So now we kind of have some little bit of a definition of light kind of poking through, and we'll merge that on top using a screen. So kind of just helps add a little bit to the effect. So the same thing was done for the blue atmosphere. We have a blue background, we've got an ellipse, and put a fast noise on that ellipse to kind of break it up, drop that as an effects mask on our background. We merged it with our other render. There it is. I mean, again, it's really, really powerful, and the way that you can move and build things in Fusions, it's just very interesting, and the results are not bad. It gets pretty cool looking results. Well, there it is. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we learned something. We're going to come back in a second tutorial and go over all the animation. So take what you learned and make it better.